How does a multi-billion-dollar company that was once worth more than Facebook get built by a man who couldn't even get a job at KFC and failed over and over again? Jack Ma is the famous founder of one of the world's largest e-commerce companies, Alibaba, and he also happens to be the 5th richest man in China currently. Amazingly, not only did it take 3 tries for Ma to gain entry into a higher institution, the now tech billionaire didn't even know how to write a single line of code by the time he founded Alibaba. So it begs the question, how on earth did Jack Ma become a world-famous business magnate with such a huge conglomerate to his name? In today's video, we will be learning from the story of a man whose vision and determination have revolutionized the very fabric of China's economy and the vast landscape of the internet. This is the story of Jack Ma. Jack Ma's story is a testament to the human capacity for greatness, a reminder that each one of us holds the potential to transcend our limitations and leave an enduring legacy. Now worth an estimated $23 billion, Jack Ma once achieved the distinction of being the wealthiest individual in China. This remarkable feat was primarily propelled by Alibaba's groundbreaking initial public offering, IPO filing in 2014, raising a staggering $169 billion on the New York Stock Exchange, currently the largest ever on the NYSE. But in order to understand how impactful Jack Ma's story is, we need to go all the way back to his rags era. The rags era, a tale of many rejections. Born in the picturesque city of Hangzhou, Zhejiang, on September 10, 1964, Ma displayed a keen interest in the English language from an early age. His journey toward fluency, however, began within the walls of Hangzhou International Hotel, where he sought out opportunities to practice with native English speakers. At age 12, Ma purchased a pocket radio, immersing himself in the world of English radio stations. Day after day, he would pedal his bicycle a remarkable distance of 27 kilometers, 17 miles, to work as a tour guide in Hangzhou, solely to refine his English skills. Ma's life, however, took an interesting turn when fate stepped in. While working as a tour guide, he became friends with a foreigner and they started writing letters to each other. The foreigner found Ma's Chinese name hard to pronounce, so he affectionately called him Jack. But while Ma grew his friendship with his pen pal, the young teenager faced challenges in school. He would often get into fights with other students, making it difficult for him to focus on his studies. As a result, he had to switch schools and joined Hangzhou No. 8 Middle School when he was 13. Academic success did not come easily for Ma despite his best efforts. In fact, Ma struggled so much that it took 2 years for him to gain acceptance into high school. It was mostly because of his challenge with mathematics actually, because as it turned out, Ma wasn't the best at maths. By 1982, when Ma reached the age of 18, the nationwide Chinese college entrance exam awaited him. However, this endeavor proved to be yet another formidable hurdle, and he failed the entrance exam, again because of his struggle with mathematics. Undeterred, Ma and his cousin attempted to secure positions as waiters in a nearby hotel in the meantime. Unfortunately, Ma faced rejection based on his physical appearance, deemed inadequate for the establishment's image. Still trying to recover from the blows that felt like they wouldn't stop coming, Ma undertook the college entrance exam once more the following year. Unfortunately, the young man met with disappointment once again. Although his mathematics score improved from 1 point the previous year to 19 points this time around, it was still far from the desired outcome. At this point, Ma's family urged him to abandon his dreams of higher education, but Ma remained steadfast. And in 1984, he bravely faced the college entrance examination for the 3rd time, and this time, the results were outstandingly different. This time, Ma scored 89 points in mathematics. Sadly, Ma was hit with yet more bad news. The required benchmark for university admission was set 5 points above his score. Nonetheless, an opportunity emerged due to the insufficient number of enrollees in the English major program, granting Ma admission to Hangzhou Normal University's English department. Ma's time at Hangzhou Normal University proved transformative. With dedication and unwavering commitment, his academic performance flourished, earning him recognition as one of the top 5 students in the university's foreign language department. Alongside his scholarly achievements, Ma assumed leadership roles, serving as the chairman of both the Student Union and the Hangzhou Federation of Students for 2 terms. In 1988, Ma proudly walked across the graduation stage, receiving his Bachelor of Arts degree with a major in English. Armed with his newfound knowledge, he embarked on a career as a lecturer in English and international trade at Hangzhou Dianzi University. Yet Ma's ambitions didn't stop there. Not one to easily get discouraged by setbacks, he set his sights on a prestigious institution, Harvard Business School, applying 10 times consecutively. But despite his relentless efforts, fate did not align with his aspirations, and he could not secure the admission. So he ended up going to Hangzhou Normal University. After his graduation from Hangzhou Normal University in the late 1980s, Ma started to look for work. However, once again he was met with rejection after rejection. In fact, Ma applied to 31 different entry-level jobs and could not get even one. One incident that stuck with Ma, though, was his experience at Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC, which he talked about in an interview with famous journalist Charlie Rose. He said, "I applied for a job at KFC, but they told me I wasn't good enough. Even when KFC opened in my city, they hired 24 applicants, but I was the only one rejected." These setbacks happened during an important time for China, as the country was nearing the end of its first decade of economic reforms under Deng Xiaoping. Despite the challenges, Ma's determination and ability to bounce back shone through. Jack meets the internet. Jack landed his first real job as a college English teacher in 1984. At the time, this was his dream career, considering that being adept in the English language was fast becoming a valuable asset in an increasingly globalized China. Ma turned out to be really sharp at the English language, and with time, he was recognized as one of the best English speakers in China. Thus, he was selected to take a trip to the United States on behalf of the Hangzhou municipal government. It was while in the US that Ma discovered the internet. Prior to this time, Ma had founded his first company, an English translation and interpretation agency called Haibo. Now he was about to found a new one, but it's probably not the one you are thinking of. Ma's first company after discovering the internet was China Yellow Pages. After making the acquaintance of the fledgling World Wide Web in the US, Jack Ma was hooked. And one day, while he was just surfing around the net, Ma made a remarkable discovery. The young man found that when he tried searching the web for beer, he found abundant information on beer from various countries. Astoundingly, he could barely find any substantial content about Chinese beer. Further searches for general information about China yielded similar results. There was an undeniable void. Driven by this realization, Ma and his friends set out to fill this void by creating an unpolished, yet informative website dedicated to Chinese beer. With a sense of anticipation, Ma launched the website at 9:40 a.m. Astonishingly, by 12:30 p.m., he found his inbox brimming with emails from potential Chinese investors, eager to learn more about him and his pioneering website. In that moment, Ma's vision of the internet's tremendous potential crystallized and China Pages was born. Within a mere 3 years, this ambitious venture generated an impressive profit of approximately 5 million yen, equivalent to $643,000 at the time, equivalent to approximately $1.18 million in today's value. And even though he'd have to walk away from his company barely 2 years after establishing it, at least for the time being, Ma had gone from rags to riches, from rejections to recognition. Still, a familiar foe from his past was lurking around, waiting to pay him a visit. Its name, disappointment. From rejections to recognition, Alibaba is born. Despite the letdown of having to quit his company due to intense competition, Jack Ma's journey continued to unfold with inspiring determination. By 1998, Ma took on a new role as the leader of an information technology company established by the China International Electronic Commerce Center, a department of the Ministry of Foreign Trade and Economic Cooperation. However, he soon discovered that he had to quit working for the government if he wanted to get in on the certain economic boom that the internet was about to bring. And so, in 1999, he made the decision to return to his hometown of Hangzhou, bringing together a team of 18 friends to establish Alibaba, a groundbreaking business-to-business marketplace site that would soon captivate the world. Ma's vision was simple. He simply wanted to create a platform that would allow for the facilitation of trades between small Chinese businesses. The idea was quite radical at the time, but Ma genuinely believed that the small business-to-small business internet market model was much more profitable than the more popular business-to-consumer internet market model. Obviously, that paid off, as we can see from hindsight. However, in the meantime, it was a pivotal moment for Ma and his companions when they first connected to the World Wide Web. Ma fondly recalls that, "The day we got connected to the web, I invited friends and TV people over to my house. On a painfully slow dial-up connection, they waited patiently for 3.5 hours to load just half a page. Yet amidst the waiting, they shared laughter, watched TV, and played cards." For Ma, it was a moment of immense pride, a testament to his unwavering conviction that the internet existed, and held boundless possibilities. It's beginning to feel a lot like déjà vu. The vision thus birthed, the next stage was to get funded. So to secure funding for his venture, Ma traveled to the US once again, this time to Silicon Valley to pitch his idea. But once again, he faced a familiar obstacle as his idea was rejected and criticized as being unprofitable and unsustainable. Feels like déjà vu, right? But here's where it gets inspiring. Through sheer persistence and determination, Ma was eventually able to secure funding of $5 million from Goldman Sachs and $20 million from SoftBank. Can you believe it? It just goes to show that sometimes you have to face rejection to find success. However, even after you find success, sometimes disappointment still comes to pay you a visit, just to be sure you really want success. And so it was for Jack Ma. 3 years after Alibaba came to be, and in spite of a fruitful funding round, Ma's fledgling company was struggling to make any revenue. The company had expanded too fast to the point that it was about to implode. In fact, at one point, Alibaba was just 18 months away from bankruptcy. Perhaps what made it worse was that, at that time, the Chinese economy was still in its infancy, and businesses and government authorities were skeptical about the idea of an online marketplace. So it was a real uphill battle for Ma and his team. And while Ma dealt with that on the outside, he also had to deal with internal issues within Alibaba. You see, Ma had a vision for his company to grow and attract young outside talent, which meant that he had to limit his existing venture partners' promotions to ranks above managerial roles. Unfortunately, this unintentionally resulted in dissension among some of his team members, and they ended up walking out on him. It was yet another setback in Ma's journey to success. But you know what? It didn't stop him. He had this unwavering belief that he should never give up. To quote his own words, "Today is hard, tomorrow will be worse, but the day after tomorrow will be sunshine." And nothing was definitely going to stand in the way of him getting to the sunshine of the day after tomorrow. So what did Ma do next? He picked up the pieces of the company and rallied his remaining team members. Together, they decided to take on the established online businesses like eBay, who already had existing operations in China. Obviously, it was a David versus Goliath situation, but Ma was determined to disrupt the market. And guess what? Within just 5 years, Ma and Alibaba managed to drive eBay out of business in China. Can you imagine the impact they made? But that's not all. With the help of further funding from Yahoo founder Jerry Yang, Alibaba was able to expand and grow further into the international market. It was like a dream come true for Ma. He saw how to revolutionize the global e-commerce landscape, and he wasn't going to let anything stand in his way. The Golden Era begins. From 2003 onwards, Ma spearheaded the establishment of transformative platforms such as Taobao Marketplace, Alipay, Alimama, and Lynx. These platforms were game changers in the e-commerce industry. In fact, the rapid rise of Taobao caught the attention of the American e-commerce giant eBay, who saw it as a threat and sought to acquire the company. But you know what? Ma, true to his vision, turned down their offer. He knew that Alibaba had so much more potential and he wasn't going to sell out. Probably as a reward for his courage, Ma found a steadfast ally in Yahoo co-founder Jerry Yang, who offered a staggering $1 billion investment in upfront capital to fuel the expansion of Alibaba's corporate operations internationally. Since its establishment in 1999, Alibaba Group has emerged as a prominent high-technology holding company in China. Under Ma's guidance, Alibaba Group has presided over 9 major subsidiaries, including Alibaba.com, Taobao Marketplace, Tmall, Itao, Alibaba Cloud Computing, Juhuasuan, 1688, Aliexpress.com, and Alipay. Coincidences and conspiracy theories. But come September 2018, the billionaire CEO announced that he would be stepping down as chairman of Alibaba Group by the following year. Upon the breaking of this news, the rumor mills went into overdrive, claiming that Ma had been forced to step down by the Chinese government. But Ma made it clear that he simply wanted to have more time to focus on his hobbies and philanthropic efforts. And those close to Ma say that money has not changed the multi-billionaire. Ma still has his regular old hobbies, which includes playing poker, meditating, and practicing Tai Chi. Ma also reads and even writes kung fu fiction. As for philanthropy, Ma is passionate about the environment, especially since the death of one of his in-laws, which he believes was as a result of pollution. Ma is also currently a sitting member of the Nature Conservancy Board. On top of that, Ma established the Jack Ma Foundation, which focuses on education, entrepreneurship, medical and environmental protection, and women's leadership. Some of the foundation's works include the Africa Netpreneur Prize Initiative, the China National Women's Soccer Team Support Program, the Jack Ma Rural School Initiative, as well as a financial aid program he created to help with the control and prevention of COVID-19. It was in October of 2020 that Ma finally stepped down as CEO. Whether or not this was a result of governmental coercion is still debated, especially with Ma's mysterious disappearance shortly after his resignation. In fact, to further exacerbate issues, Ma's resignation and consequent disappearance happened right after a controversial speech he had made that criticized the Chinese financial system. Coincidence? Well, many say not. Fortunately, after 3 months of all kinds of speculation, including rumors about his death, Ma was seen in a short video address he made for a charity event. He was also spotted playing golf on the island of Hainan about a month later, but even at that, the rumors were still not put to bed. Whatever the case, though, the general conclusion is that Ma simply decided to keep a low profile after his provocative speech, which would not be entirely out of question. What makes Ma's story so profound is that no one who knew him then would have expected him to make the level of impact he's been able to make in his lifetime. Getting rejected 30 times, starting an internet business without an idea of how to write a single line of code, failing at a couple of business ideas, almost going bankrupt within 3 years of starting Alibaba. All of these should have been markers that Jack Ma was simply not destined to be great. But he defied the odds again and again, and then some more. Many individuals misunderstand failure as the antithesis of success, but in reality, it is an integral component of achieving success. Like Ma himself once said, "It's not a good feeling to be rejected by so many people. We were also depressed, but at least we figured the world has a ton of opportunities." Catch the opportunity in the way you see the world. So are you ready to catch your opportunity? Then do what Ma says. Once in your life, try something. Work hard at something. Try to change. Nothing bad can happen.